that's also I bought that system also, and I'm able now to go backwards almost to the floor gently. I'm in a bow position, and my hands are there. I'm able to walk on the wall to go straight again, because that was impossible to do. Start to do the exercises from the easy form till that you can be flexible. You are able to become mobile again. You become flexible to do the daily task in life with in an easy way.
Hi, this is Jennifer Burton with Easy Flexibility, and this morning I am talking to Mr. Iwan Marckmann. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, the Americans said Iwan, but
is it Iwan?
The Russian is Iwan.
Iwan Marckmann. No, that's wonderful. Iwan, can you please tell us you're from the Netherlands, but you're not originally from the Netherlands. Can you share with us a little bit of your personal story?
I was born in Jakarta, Indonesia, in 1960. Used to live there for 11 years. So my youth was in a wonderful place, and when I came to the Netherlands, it was really a complete change for myself. But I did a lot of athletics already in Indonesia. Pencak silat is like the Indonesian form of kung fu and judo. So I was really a kid with a lot of movements. You know, you can call it these days ADHD.
I tell my students sometimes that they have the wiggles, yeah. They have to always be like they're very active, you know. So you were a very active child. You always had the wiggles.
Always. And we used to live outside, you know. We played outside. There's always the sun. There's always nice weather. So we play football, everything with stones, climbing on trees, doing crazy things like children do.
Yes, yeah. Getting into fun, a little bit of trouble, maybe a sling.
But now I'm actually what I do now is I'm an acupuncturist and a massage therapist. That's my work, and I give also training, physical training, but also mental training in mindfulness.
Oh, mindfulness! That's wonderful. I too am. I'm a somatic practitioner. I've been trained in Alexander and Franklin techniques.
Beautiful.
And Feldenkrais, and so I'm very much on the same plane as you. So when did you begin your acupuncturist training?
I did first massage therapy when I was 22. And at 26 I opened my own practice, and since that time I have my own business, and then I did acupuncture, NLP. I used to work for a ballet company in the Netherlands, Scapino Ballet. So I'm well known with Feldenkrais, Alexander techniques, and I give also training in big companies. How do you call it?
Contemporary dance companies or
companies just to be aware about their personal effectiveness.
Oh, you mean like corporations, like that kind of mindfulness and centeredness work where you can be centered.
Yeah.
Take your little 5-minute brain nap in the middle of the work day, so that you're empty out kind of the cabinet of the mind, so that you can work more effectively. Yes. And
I'm also a well-trained hypnotist.
Oh, awesome! Wow, you are just a jack of all trades, right?
Yes, I'm 57. You know, I'm a student of life. You know.
Oh, pooh! You're not 57. I don't believe you.
I'm still, learning every day.
No,
so I had a bad accident with a car. Broke my back. My kneecaps was completely broken. My shoulder, and after that I had to move in a different way.
Yes.
So too much sex, drugs, and alcohol is not good for your body. So I retrained myself. I did the Pavel training, the RKC, Russian Kettlebell certification with Pavel. And I did also his flexibility training. I was always flexible, but I had a lot of pain because of the accident.
May I ask you a question? Do you have naturally high arches?
For ballet?
Yeah, no, yeah. Your foot, is it naturally a high arch?
You can't believe it.
Show me. Oh!
They're jealous at me.
Yes, exactly.
I tweeted the ballet dancers about it. You have to become a dancer. Your feet is incredible.
God gave you a gift. Even.
My brother is a dancer. My brother is really a dancer, and my ex-wife is also a dancer.
So there you go. It's in your life, but you know, I tend to find that very flexible men tend to have very nice arches. You know, people who are naturally very flexible, there's a correlation. I have not studied it. You know, I should look and see if there are studies that have been done, but I tend to find a correlation in my own life, and so that is why I asked. Especially men who are naturally flexible tend to have high arches, as I have found in my daily life. So I had to ask, and you did not disappoint.
With me, it fits. Your theory fits with me.
So you began as a massage therapist. Then you learned acupuncture. This was in your early to mid 20s, right?
Yeah.
And so when did you start learning somatic techniques like Feldenkrais, Alexander, Franklin, those kinds of mind body centering?
I started with in the beginning time with NLP, with Grinder and Bandler. And I studied stuff, and I did a lot of already because of my background in Pencak Silat. We meditate a lot, you know?
Yes.
And then I perfect the form how to meditate specifically. And then I started to move in a different way. But I was then busy to build my business between 30 and 40. So you're so busy with everything, studying a lot, having 3 kids.
Oh, I understand. I have two myself. My son is now graduated from high school. My daughter is in middle school. I'm finishing my master's degree, and so I understand completely. You get into a certain point in your life where it's like busy, and you don't take care of your self-care.
Yeah, that's true. And then the accident happened 12 years ago. I ruptured my Achilles PCL completely also. On my right foot.
Hold on. I'm knocking on wood right now because that's one of those as a
like this.
Oh my gosh. Yes. You know, there's certain
how free I am now, you know. There's still hope.
I know as a dancer, like there's certain injuries that can be so devastating. An Achilles rupture, hamstring rupture is another one.
I have only 50% of my calves left, my right side.
Oh,
so I had to rebuild the strength. Left side, right side, left side, right side.
So you've had to retrain it almost globally. You've had to find, you've had to find ways within your skeletal muscular system to compensate for that lack of power, specifically in your calf. And
medial gastrocnemius is only working for 30%. The outside is 100%. So that in the cutting of the how do you call it, the tendon?
Yes.
So they cut also a nerve.
Oh my gosh! So okay, so they cut the gastrocnemius,
Yeah.
and they cut the associated.
And
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm
So
still able now to walk. I'm still able to jump, and I'm still able to sprint because I'm also very fast without problem.
yeah, no, that is a whole other thing. Like I don't think people understand how much quickness is a function of the gastrocnemius and
Yeah.
you know the surrounding ligature. So please tell us. You know, obviously, I'm having an interview with you for Easy Flexibility. Tell us how. Is it because of this injury that you sought us out, or was it like you had already been treating this injury and then you found us on Facebook?
Okay, I treated, of course, by myself with acupuncture, with training, with power training. You know, only doing 4 reps, but with maximum weight. Stretch it a lot. I found Pavel. I did the RKC, calisthenics, but still, I had a lot of pain when I'm stretching. And then I saw this guy,
Because
flexing.
that nerve is so.
And I found
I mean, they like all, you know, there's certain nerves, you know, along the erector spinae, along the sciatic nerve in the hamstring, and then the nerve in the gastrocnemius. I mean, they're all. It's like one line that splits and then it splits again, right?
And I became stiff also with the rotations.
Yeah, like lateral spiraling rotation.
Especially the spinal one. This one, I was completely blocked like that.
Like this.
But now it's open again.
Oh,
and I'm working on it. I'm working on it because I found Easy Flexibility. I think 6 months ago I started training with it, with the beginners program, and I found out, you know, this is incredible that you get your calf like this, 1, 2, and going down. That was for me, wow! And then all parts, and then suddenly, wow! I'm more flexible than I was.
Did you start with a specific, okay, on the website, and as our viewers will be able to note, if you go to www.easyflexibility.com or you go to the ElasticSteel YouTube page, you will notice that there are very clearly labeled, very specific exercises for different muscle groups. Is that what you began with? You looked through the list of, excuse me, different muscle group exercises, and you said, okay, I would like to work on the calves. I would like to work on the gastrocnemius today.
So I work like that, and then I started my extra rotation.
Was it the plantar flexion and dorsiflexion exercise? Because there is one specifically guided for plantar and dorsiflexion.
No, the dorsiflexion I did it with the squat. There's a squat program, and they did it also, you know.
Yes.
But I did it also, but a different kind of exercise. But now I did it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then rotation and moving. And now further, a little bit further. So because of my background, I understand the principles, and it's so simple. It's so beautiful.
Oh no, so, I'm so happy that you found this.
Yeah. And then I started with the endo rotation because my complete hip was, I can't do it anymore.
Yes, yeah. It like for those of us who either have very natural external rotation or who have had a lifetime of forcing ourselves to do it, like say we've been ballet dancers or we've been in another field that uses external rotation a lot. The benefits of internally rotating, you know, when I was a kid, I was never taught you need to release your deep six rotators by internally rotating to allow them to release, you know.
But I did with my kicks in the karate, it was easy, but the last few years, oh God, I'm so stiff.
So please share with us. Okay, so you have a background that's in somatics in acupuncture and massage therapy, but you also have a background that is in the martial arts. Please.
The martial art I did is karate, judo, and pencak silat.
Yes.
And I was really active till I was 24. And then after that, we did it just by when I found my friends, and we just kick with each other. But I was quite flexible, but never trained for it. And now I'm doing for myself to release the energies Tai Chi.
Oh, wonderful!
And now my Sifu, he noticed the last 5 months, my God, you're becoming so flexible, so beautiful.
Well, it's a different kind of flexibility too, because those who are very naturally flexible, like you and your amazing arches, a lot of people have the problem where they have incredible natural flexibility. I've had students as a ballet teacher who had, you know, unnatural 180 degrees turnout, and they would do really weird things, like they would pop out their hip joint just to, you know, freak me out, like, hey, Miss Jenny, look, and I would, but my point in telling this story is that they didn't have the innate muscle strength to control their flexibility.
That's the difference with only flexibility, natural flexibility.
Yes.
Flexibility with power or with strength. I mean strength, real strength.
And you as a martial artist need to be able to hold that position. Hold that position. You as a Tai Chi practitioner, you're carving and arcing space, and you're doing it in this very slow and guided movement, yes? And that takes a whole other, you know, concentration of the body's energies. How long have you been practicing Tai Chi for?
5 years now.
Oh, that's wonderful. And
but we do it also with the sticks and with the weapons, with the sword. And it's a beautiful technique, really flowing.
Oh yeah, like
and going down, some going up.
The modern dance technique.
Long movements. Yeah.
Like you really get into that diagonal, and you're arcing the space of the weapon.
And very low position with your legs.
Yeah, you're in this super low slung kind of. I can see it. I've seen it at, like, practice in the park before, where it's the leg, the weight bearing leg is turned out like this. You're in a very, very, very low lunge, like a very low second position, but all of your weight is passed over here, and you're working with the weapon like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that has very specific weight and flexibility challenges that are coming with, especially for an individual who's dealing with you know, Achilles recuperation. So that's my weakest point, because I have very strong, you know, quickness, but my Achilles is really stiff. Yes. So you because of my high heels. The dorsal flexion was my problem. So you discovered easy flexibility. It was one of those things, like, you had already been in rehabilitation for your injury. You had already come to a whole new part of your rehabilitation, and so this was just kind of something that was very intriguing, and something that added to what you were already doing within your daily life for your healing process. Correct? Yes. And as I saw these ladies, I saw, what's his name, Michael, Sonny? What's it? Yeah, I saw him doing kicks. My God, it's so easy. It looks so easy. So it intrigued me. That's what I want also to do again, without pain. So that was my first question. I want to do all the exercises in my life, also with the kettlebells like this,
but without pain, without pain,
Mm-hmm.
no restrictions.
Absolutely. And so were you able to find that with the easy flexibility method? And how would you compare it, as somebody who's been a martial arts practitioner, how would you compare it to the traditional means of stretching?
The old system for me was a 5, and then this one is a 10. It's much easier to learn, much better to apply, and you have immediate results, and it stays. That's the difference, because of course everyone who is warm can do a split, but you have to warm up for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those. I have,
and then you do it, and then you have 2 days pain.
you see, I don't have to worry about the pain issue. But my thing is, do you know what anterior tibial or anterior femoral torsion is?
Okay.
So I naturally have bow legs, and I was always told, you're never going to be a great ballet dancer because of your bow legs. You're always going to have to be overcompensating. And so, you know, I've done that over my life. I've had to really find my best line as it is. But that always involved like an extreme amount of flexibility training to really open up,
Of course.
you know,
of course.
open up the process in the hips so that I could get the most out of it as I could, you know. And so, you know, I'm, unlike you, I'm not naturally as flexible. But, you know, yeah, so I understand completely. Yes, I can get in a split. It doesn't take me 45 minutes. Maybe it takes me 15 to 20 minutes, but it's still like, if anybody can do a split if they're warming up. Yeah. It's a question of, you know, finding these methods that within 2 minutes, it releases that muscle tension, that channel within the body, and it's like, oh, there it is, and it doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah, but it's also logically, you know, you stretch all the muscles of your butt and all the attachment, and then you stretch the calves, and then you stretch the hamstrings. It's really built up in a logical way.
Yeah, it's well.
Open one part, and then that one is open, and you go to the other part, opening it again. And for me, it's logically. It feels good.
Absolutely.
And my students said, "My God, man, you are flowing now when I move."
And you are currently working as a Tai Chi instructor, correct?
I give a lot of training in kettlebell and high intensity training.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my other business besides the massage.
Is HIT, right?
Yeah.
If you can, for the audience, for those who have not engaged in HIT before, can you please tell them what is kind of component of what you do as an HIT trainer?
What is HIT?
High intensity training.
High intensity. What it does for my people.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does a typical class look like for those who've never taken one before?
Okay, high intensity means that you are doing an exercise which will create your heart rate very fast in a high tension, and you do it only for 1 or 2 minutes and rest for 1 or 2 minutes and do the exercise again. That's in high intensity. Yeah.
Yes. Very getting the cardio going at a very quick rate. And then rest.
After the warming up,
rest.
Yeah, rest.
How long?
And you can do it. You can do it. Usually, I train for 15 minutes high intensity. That's for me enough. But I use heavy weights, heavy kettlebells.
So, for those in the audience, you have these periods of quick warm up. And then static rest. Warm up, static rest. About how long does the average training session last? 30 minutes, 1 hour?
40 minutes.
Okay, 40 minutes.
With warming up.
And so within that, you have to have a very quick stretch and cool down session as well, correct?
Yeah.
So has the easy flexibility method, for those who are just exploring our method, is everything is very modular. Every different set of exercises it can be taken alone, or it can be used as part of a much longer set. So you can use it very modularly. Do you find that this benefits that specific model within your HIT training, your high intensity training?
I find that the people say to me, you know, that we are well warmed up. Our hips are much more loose. I don't have pain in my hamstring. We do the exercise. The shoulders are loose, and after that they are much more flexible, of course. And then we do the deeper stretch, and also with the meditation, of course, with the mindfulness. Breathe in, breathe out, and go in that position.
Yes, allowing the muscle to find its release point. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so thankful that you've been able to work that into so many different aspects of your teaching life, because, you know, I do you feel like it has benefited every different aspect of your teaching life? Have you been able to find a place for these methods within your Tai Chi, within your high intensity training? With
the training I give, it's really give me another outlook to people. You know, I have a stiff neck. No, you have not stiff neck. We can massage it, but we can stretch it also in a different way.
To release those muscles that are living in the tension, right? I had one of my professors. He used to teach at Juilliard back in the 1960s, and he was a student of Jose Limon. But he was also a student of, and you would know this because you are a somatics trained professional, you would know who Lulu Swigert is. She's the one who invented the constructive rest position.
Okay.
You know, when you're laying on your back, you have your arms crossed, you have your knees. And there's a specific meditation technique that's used in concert with the constructive rest position. But my professor was a student of hers, and you know, his mantra, the thing that he would tell us during every ballet class, every tap class that he taught us, and he was also our somatics teacher. We had anatomy and physiology for dance, but we also had a somatics class so that we could learn Alexander, etc. And he would tell us, release to increase.
Yeah.
You know, that was his mantra. There was like a poster on the wall in the dance room. Release to increase. And
that's true. That's true. The relaxation is actually the key. At that moment, you are able to relax. Of course, you can contract it and relax, contract, relax. But the relaxation will give you the most,
absolutely.
Space. It is about space, eh? But
yes.
Create space, not only in your muscles, but also in the ligaments, in articulations.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that drew me to this technique specifically. Like when I first saw it on Facebook, I don't know, 4 years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, look what they're doing. They're doing a somatic movement. They're releasing the muscle to allow it to increase, and they're making absolutely exactly what you said. They're making space within the musculature and within the ligament. As somebody who has recovered from an injury, somebody who is an instructor, somebody who also is a somatics practitioner and a meditator, what is the thing that really has impressed you about the ElasticSteel technique and easy flexibility?
The most, you mean?
Yes.
It is a complete workout. That's what I like about it. You can do it short, you can do it longer. Depends on what your goals are. And every time you do it, you become, you create more space, but you have also freedom. I say it freedom because I do it before training, and I train much harder in a better way, without without abusing my articulations or my muscles.
Yes.
So I'm sprinting, but I'm having fun with it, you know, without pain. It's just what I say. Without pain is for me freedom.
Yes, absolutely. Especially with your injury recovery. I mean, that can be such, you know, that's such a tough part of the body to heal, and to find full flexion again, and to find the fullness of the articulation of all of, you know. For those who are new to movement studies, you know, we think about the Achilles, but part of it is also all of those little ligaments that are underneath, that are controlling the toes, that are controlling the underside of the arch. And so when you injure the Achilles, you're really injuring everything else in the foot.
And also that you are able now to feel it better, you know, the big thumb.
Yes.
You know, it's the direction of your movements is coming from there.
Yeah, because your big toe, I mean, we're showing the hands, but we're meaning the feet, right?
Yeah, we mean feet. I mean feet. Big toe.
So yeah, the big toe is like the steering wheel of the rest of the foot.
Yeah. And also the neck.
The big toe. Well, there's the relationship between the big toe, the thumb, and the crown, right?
In the Tai Chi or in the martial art, we say, if you are not able to stretch your neck or to move your neck, even when you are doing this, it's not free. You are not able to do a split. It has to be free. Your neck has to be free.
Absolutely.
That's why stretching for elderly. We are using in our practice, my wife is also massage therapist, doTERRA oils, and we are doing a lot of hand massage for free for elderly, you know, who are alone. But also the neck has to be massaged and to be stretched. If you are not able to do it by yourself, you can do the technique with a partner. It's very important that this one, your hands, but also your neck, that it is free.
So yeah, finding that full flexion and extension of the neck. So which exercises have you, as you discovered easy flexibility, you wanted to try it out because you recognized that it was very beneficial, because it gave you the opportunity to work on strength and flexibility at the same time, especially because you're a naturally flexible individual. And you need that extra strength component there, right? Yeah. So which exercises did you begin training with, and what have you stuck with since you began training?
The exercise I liked the first time I did it is the mermaid. Mm-hmm. But also in different positions, with the feet nearby your other leg or a little bit further. Mm-hmm. I just you know, you can do it like this, but you can go like that.
Yeah. You can find different levels of rotation. So that you're engaging, you know, it's different fibers, different muscle fibers, you know, very specifically. Yes.
And of course the stretch for my hamstrings on my right side because of the injury of my Achilles. That's incredible what I'm able now to do. Also on the Tai Chi, on the bar, very high. I couldn't imagine I could do that again in normal position.
Yes.
In extra rotations for me never a problem, but in normal position and in endo rotation, that was very painful for my hip.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So you've been working on your squaring the position, correct?
Yeah.
And finding that squareness with that vertical throughness. Yes.
Yeah.
What else have you been?
And I work a lot on my lateral flexion.
So I, you know, as a ballet teacher, I would call this cambre de côté, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, cambre to the side, but yeah, lateral extension along, you know, the intercostals. Yes, and the left.
Now I'm working on the. I'm much better, but I like to work more on the rotation.
Your full ES rotation for
Yeah.
those who are listening. You know, the full rotation of the erector spinae, so that you can look behind you.
That's me. But here is never a problem in my neck. But the problem is in the back because I broke the part L4.
Oh, the sacrum.
L4, L5, the
Yes.
lumbar. Yeah, I broke it there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you broke the actual vertebrae, or the disc slipped and squished the jelly.
Yeah. Just in my vertebrae there is a part that's really broken and it's healed very good, but it's thicker than normal.
Okay.
You understand?
Well,
So,
thank God it healed well, because you know that is
flexion to the right is never a problem, but to the left it was the biggest problem because of that broken part. But now it's open and I'm able to make.
You're making lumbar circles, right?
Yeah.
And you can make little circles with your pelvis.
Yeah,
you can rock your pelvis side to side. And
I work a lot on that part. Because that was my problem.
Was the forward and backward?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine. I pulled my back very badly. I actually pulled the SI ligament.
Yeah.
I pulled the SI ligament, and I also, you know, just that whole attachment of the erector spinae along that entire diamond that goes onto the pelvis. I pulled the whole thing about 3 months ago, and I had never. I felt like I was 90. I mean, I had to be physically moved out of bed, and so, yes, I can understand in a whole new way that difficulty of finding the sway, the forward and backward sway of the pelvis. So you have been, what exercises within the Easy Flexibility System have you been using to specifically address your lumbar spine?
I did my own exercises, like sitting on your hands on your knees, in an how I call it, like a little kid, like this, going down a bit.
Yes.
That way.
Like very, very gentle cat-cow kind of yogic exercises.
And I also the cobra for the bow, and then what. That's also I bought that system also, and I'm able now to go backwards almost to the floor, gently.
Oh, wonderful!
When I'm using the wall.
Oh, wonderful!
When I'm in a bow position and my hands are there, I'm able to walk on the wall to go straight again, because that was impossible to do.
Oh yeah, that's a difficult position for even very flexible people to do. You know, I remember, and also like leg and hip flexibility doesn't necessarily mean that your spine is flexible. So you began working with that. You began working with the Cobra Flexibility Program. Specifically, yes, for releasing that spinal flexion and extension.
But also becoming more flexible in my shoulders. You have to be flexible in your shoulders to be able
to be able to have that full range of motion within the shoulders. Is that something that you had struggled with before?
Yeah, because I did. With the kettlebell and with the weights, we call it not the. How do you call it? The squat?
Yes.
The standing squat, like this. It was impossible for me to do.
Were you finding before that your shoulders would raise to your ears? Like they weren't
like
grounded,
or
they would be rolling forward.
rolling forward. And now it's able. I'm free now, and I can squat like this with the weight, with no problem.
That's wonderful. Is there one thing that you want to say about the Easy Flexibility Program and how it has benefited your body, your practice as a martial artist and as a physical trainer and as a somatics practitioner?
I think every sporter, but also every man or woman who has problem with movement should start to do the exercises from the easy form till that you can be flexible. You are able to become mobile again. You become flexible to do the daily task in life in an easy way. I believe in that. Even when you are not able to move your legs and you are sitting all day because you had an accident, you are able to move this one.
Yeah, you can find something that you can work on. You can find your neck, your shoulders, your hands, your fingers even. Like, you know, everybody tends to ignore the flexibility of the hands and the wrists, but it's so, for those of us who write, you know, we write with pens all the time, so we need to have
the circular motion. Everyone should learn it, and not only the stretching, but I'm always doing the warming up.
Or like jingling your carpals.
Yeah.
Jingling the carpals.
Yeah. Everybody should do that. It should be taught on schools.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
I have a big vision, you know. I have a big vision that all men above 50 are able to move gracefully.
That's wonderful. That's a great vision to have. And you know, there are those of us who are working within the educational system now who believe in, you know, somatics, in ease of movement, who are trying to teach physical education in a different way, so that kids think about it more in terms of, I want to do that. I want to feel like this. Yeah. This feels really good. This feels very natural, instead of like, I can't do that. I'm not a jock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I am possible instead of impossible.
Absolutely.
And you can be muscular like me and become flexible also, because many people are muscular but they are so stiff, you know?
Well, yeah, and that's another thing that I think is a real benefit to the program. Is it finds ways of teaching everybody to find room within their musculature for release. Yes.
I think the CrossFit generation in the States, of course, very big. In the Netherlands, beginning, they need the flexibility to do the exercises smartly, because if you are not doing the exercise smartly, the overhead squat I call it, if you're not doing, you will ruin your body.
Oh, I know, and there's a lot of bad form that I've seen in CrossFit, because people will do it for speed and just to get there. They're just doing it to meet that, like, oh, I need to get there. I need to find this goal. And they're not doing it with the complete dynamic alignment of the body in mind. And so you'll see like knees all over the place, and or like, you know, arches not fully supported, or you know, like lumbar spines. Like I go to my friends. I go to my friends' CrossFit competitions sometimes, and they're like, you know, the first thing I see always is when somebody's jumping from a squat onto those big tires, you know?
Yeah.
And you see their lumbar spine, instead of unfolding and folding again, like a spring, right?
Yeah.
You know, where you go like an upper to lower connection, upper to lower, where you're finding that alignment of the pelvis, the knees, and the middle toe in all 3 points of the movement. They'll splay their knees to the side, and I'm like,
yeah. But They should be teach first in working with kettlebells, because kettlebells are much safer and better for your body, because it's not a barbell, it's friendly. And if you are able to do a good squat with the kettlebells, with double kettlebells or single, then you are able to squat in a better way. And the speed, I like the speed of CrossFit, because I'm very fast, but I really hate the form that people are doing. For me as a businessman, I have a lot of clients. They have all injuries. For me, it's good, you know. And the more injuries, the better my business is.
Yeah, but you don't want them to be injured, because you're a somatics practitioner, and because you're their teacher, you don't want to be responsible for having your person that you teach hurt. You don't want to you don't want to be, and when I say responsible, I mean like soulfully responsible. I mean, like, you know, in every way, you know. Yeah.
Also, okay, I'm doing okay. Let's go, because some do CrossFit. Let's show how you are doing the exercise. Give me a push up. Give me a squat. Give me a pull up. No, then you are able to re-educate them in a better way.
Exactly. You find the thing that is lacking in the form that you can work on daily, and then you can show them ways of being both, as with this technique, being both strong and flexible.
Yeah.
And, you know, giving them you know, new tools to assess their form, so that when they go into any CrossFit classroom, it doesn't matter the instructor, they have those tools in their mind.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful discussion today.
It's good that you are a little bit later. So I have also to finish, because we are preparing our food.
Oh, I know. It's supper time where you are, and I want to thank you so much today for joining me. And again, my apologies for being a few minutes tardy today. But I want to thank you. Please, it's Iwan Marckmann. I want to thank you so much for joining us. For those who are watching in the audience, you can find our videos at www.easyflexibility.com. You can also find us at YouTube at the ElasticSteel channel. That is all. Thank you, Mr. Marckmann, for joining us today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.